I love how Reacher Season 3 has immediately fixed one of the biggest faults with the second series. Namely, it's brought back the mystery. I've read many interviews with author Lee Child over the years about how he writes the typical Jack Reacher book. And the big reason they're so addictive is a certain formula he uses. Namely, the author is always teasing readers with unanswered questions, which pushes them to keep reading. As soon as a certain mystery is solved, a new one begins. Reacher Season 1 adapted Child's Killing Floor, the first novel, and one that set the template for everything that followed. The first series had great characters and plenty of action, but the mystery at its core also kept audiences engaged. One element I've always loved about Child's novels and their adaptations is that they fuse a standard murder mystery with a muscle-bound hero right out of the 1980s. Reacher Season 3 is currently riding high with great reviews and ratings, but it comes after the slight letdown of the second season. Reacher Season 2 covered Bad Luck and Trouble, the 11th book, and one that explained the titular drifter's backstory in greater detail. On paper, it was a smart choice for Year 2, as it offered viewers a more in-depth look at Reacher via his friendship with his former unit. I quite enjoyed the second season, despite its many deviations from the source material and choppy fight scenes. One element I did not love about Season 2 was how flat the central mystery was. Where the first season pulled the audience into the murderous conspiracy at the heart of Margrave, Season 2 simply pits Reacher's 110th Special Investigators against a group trying to sell an experimental missile. There were smaller questions woven into the plot, like the possibility that a former special investigator was in league with the bad guys. But overall, there's no real mystery to be found in Year 2. Reacher and his gang find out who the villains are and proceed to take them down. Reacher's new season adapts Persuader, where Alan Ritchson's main character goes undercover with a gunrunner. That setup sounds simple, but Persuader is my personal favorite of the Reacher books. It's a taut thriller where Reacher just barely manages to keep his cover intact from chapter to chapter, as he hunts for a kidnapped DEA agent and looks for a man who tortured and killed a friend of his years before. Reacher's latest series layers on both the tension and mystery, and while it's not a very in-depth story, it's often unpredictable. This goes back to what makes the novels themselves so compulsive, as Reacher always has a new threat or unexpected plot twist to deal with. For example, the character of Angel Dole Manuel Rodriguez seems like another dim-witted thug Reacher has to deal with, but he soon pokes holes in Jack's undercover story. Reacher deals with Angel in a typically blunt manner, but this is just one example of how Season 3 keeps turning the screws. Episode 6, Smoke on the Water, at least confirmed that the missing DEA informant Teresa is still alive, though whether she stays that way before the finale is another question. Reacher Season 3's case isn't as absorbing as the show's debut season, but it definitely makes up for the franchise's sophomore slump.